Alright, so today we're going to talk about a map that has a lot of kind of controversy around it being good or not. And to be honest, before I went into this video, or at least getting the footage for this video, I was kind of dreading playing it again, because I didn't have the best experience from memory with it. But playing it, now and actually like taking the time to do stuff, play the map multiple times in a row to get the footage I needed, it's not too bad. It definitely isn't like one of the strongest maps ever. It has its issues, and I will talk about what I think about the map in this video. But it's fine. Like I'll just leave it there. It's fine. We'll say Voyage of Despair is an okay map. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it today. Same as always with this video. Go over what the map added, the wonder weapons, the kind of general kind of consensus of the map, and what I think about it. Again, with these videos, in-depth wonder weapon reviews, Easter eggs, main Easter eggs anyway, and bigger side Easter eggs will be covered in separate videos. This is mainly just an overview of the map. So I'll talk briefly about the wonder weapon, won't go into each elemental type and how to build it and whatnot, but that stuff will be coming in future videos. So without further ado, let's talk about Voyage of Despair. Okay, so Voyage, we'll talk about the map itself first. So if you don't know, it's set on the Titanic, and I think straight away with that, you have some limitations on what you can do. Most of the zombies maps in Call of Duty Zombies in general are a lot more, I feel like they have a lot more creative freedom, right? They're all in these weird, crazy locations. Dallas Drax a massive castle, you've got Shangri-La, the moon. Like, they're all in pretty crazy places, and some of them are more grounded. Like, we'll take Mob of the Dead or Blood of the Dead for an example. It's Alcatraz prison, but it's not really Alcatraz prison, you know what I mean? Like, but this is literally a boat. It's the Titanic, and I think a big problem with that is it kind of limits creativity on the map. Like, there's only so much you can do with a place that's supposed to be like this historical figure, I suppose. And again, it's not the most exciting map to kind of look at, really. It all kind of looks the same, and honestly, after playing it a decent amount over the past week, I was still kind of getting lost on where to go and where I was, because a lot of the interior, specifically the interior, looks very similar unless you're like in the below decks. And yeah, it's not the best to look at. It's very confusing layout wise, and I just don't think the map's put together that well. Moving on from there though, let's talk about the map itself and the weapons and all the cool stuff you can do on the map. So the wonder weapon, we'll briefly go over that now since I'm using it so much in this footage, is the Kraken. Now again, with Black Ops 4, I think a good thing, honestly, the Black Ops 4 does is most maps allow you to craft the wonder weapon or simply get it out of the box. From this match and this footage, I was like halfway through getting the Kraken for free when I rolled the box and it gave it me, and I was like, okay, I no longer need to do that quest. I'll just pick up the gun and I'm good to go. Now the elemental upgrades for the gun you do need to do. Very simple though, but again, I'll cover them more in depth in a different video. But the one I'm using in this footage is the lightning variant. Very, very strong. It is probably the best one in the game, personally. Having used all four in multiple runs of this map. I will say, visually speaking, the weapon, I think it's cool. It's like a cannon. It looks like a cannon. That's pretty cool, but it doesn't really do anything like crazy. It's not like a Wonder Warf or a bow or anything like that. It just kind of shoots this shrapnel. That's about it, really. I like the idea of it being like a Kraken weapon, and how you get it through the quest is really cool. How like a giant tentacle comes out of the sea and gives it to you. That's cool, but it's not really visually appealing. But it is quite strong. It's very good, I'll give it that. So enemy types, similar to 9, you have the elemental zombies. They're called catalysts in this game. I figured that out eventually. And obviously you've got different element types. They do play into the upgrading of the Kraken to its elemental type, which is pretty cool. It's nice to have them have a use rather than them just being annoying. I think this game actually ended to 2 of the napalm ones blowing up at once and killing me. But either way, then you've got this new enemy type called a Stoker. Now essentially it's a bigger zombie that runs around with like a shovel, and he explodes and throws fire at you and stuff like that. He's not really that big of an issue, especially with this version of the Kraken. Kind of goes down real quick, but they spawn very constantly. Like, especially at this point in the game, you're pretty much going to see a good few of them every round. Again, not really a big thing. They're not really all that menacing, But again, they do play into unlocking the Kraken without getting the box. So you do need to kill the first one you see just to get the part. After that, it's kind of there. And of course, you've got the Blightfather, which is in the 9, the big 4-legged monster that kind of like peels out of zombies. Again, with this gun and the tools you have in Black Ops 4, very easy to take down. But yeah, the only new enemy in Voyage is the Stoker, which again, as you can see in the footage right there, went down like it was nothing. So they're not really that important. There is a shield on Voyage. I didn't build it in this game because honestly, it's such a safe strat doing this that I didn't really need it. So, but yeah, it's just a shield. It's a shield. Like, it's the same thing as it did in 9. The homunculus monkey bomb little guys also appear on this map. Now, I will say they're quite good. I will give Black Ops 4 that. Those things are quite good. Again, like I mentioned in 9, they act more like little armies from Black Ops 3 than they do monkey bombs because they actually fight zombies around them before they explode. And they do quite effectively get rid of quite a few. I think they can also take out Stokers pretty easy too, which is nice. But honestly, I've said it time and time again, with how equipment works in Black Ops 4 Zombies, considering you can't have grenades and monkeys like you usually could, you can have one, you're better off keeping the Wraith Fires because they're so much better than every other piece of equipment in the game. That it's not really worth picking these up unless you feel you need them. But I just pick them up for the footage, but I usually would just stay on Wraith Fires as well. And the same thing for Blood of the Dead. I was getting the footage and I was like, you know what, I need to pick up the House Retriever to show it. So I didn't have Wraith Fires, but usually in a run I would. So yeah, the equipment slot in this game is a bit weird. As for the Specialist, again, I'm using the Viper and Dragon. These things, I think on this map it's kind of different because the Kraken in this variant is just so good. But again, the Specialists are so strong in Black Ops 4 that they really do overshadow some of the Wonder Weapons. Kind of what I mentioned back in 9, because Circuit's Kiss isn't that good, whereas the Specialists are just like that much better. But the Kraken, honestly, quite good on this map, so definitely worth getting, upgrading, and using it for high rounds. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything with Voyage. Again, one of the launch maps, so nothing crazily new other than like unique weapons to the map have been added. But yeah, some closing thoughts on Voyage. Was really worried going into this map that I just wouldn't enjoy myself. In fact, I was almost tempted just to give up at one point because it just wasn't gelling with me. But eventually, I kind of stuck it out, got the upgrades, got the setup, and honestly, going for the high round, doing this method here, which is literally training in Spawn, by the way, was really fun, and I actually really enjoyed myself. I think the thing is with this map, when you go into it and you play it, you've kind of got to just suffer for a while, going through the ship normally and finding all the pack-a-punch pedestals, getting them open, opening up doors to get around, navigating all the horrible corridors that look the same. When you're set up, it's great. Like this, it's really fun to do, but the tedium of walking around the ship and just getting everything ready, I really don't like on this map. But again, after like around 20-30, when you're fully ready to go. But yeah, that's probably my biggest advice for the map. If you're going to play it, bear with it for a little bit. Just kind of suffer for a little bit, and then the payoff is kind of there if you want to push for higher rounds, because you will be set up pretty safely for a while. But yeah, that's Voyage. Next up, we're going to do Blood of the Dead. I was thinking not to do Blood of the Dead, but it's got new things in it, and it's different enough to kind of consider it a different map to Mob of the Dead. And when I kind of agreed with myself for that, I was like, you know what, I'll do Classified as well. And half of the maps in Black Ops 4 are like remasters of old ones, but they're different enough to cover. So we'll do all the maps anyway, and then we'll move on to Cold War, I believe, after that, which is pretty cool. After all the Black Ops Zombies games have been done, not including Black Ops 6 because it's new, don't really need to look back at those maps when they've just came out. But after Cold War, we'll move on to non-Treyarch Zombies and Extinction, so that'd be cool. But yeah, that's been Voyage of Despair. Leave your thoughts on the map down in the comments. Blood of the Dead will be next, so I look forward to doing that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.